Guess what time it is? It's time for
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
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 Good morning, entrepreneurs. Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Guess what time it is? It's time for
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
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 Good morning, freaking fabulous entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
G'day and good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Good morning, freaking fabulous entrepreneurs.
Good morning, entrepreneurs.
Welcome everyone, and we are your hosts for Good Morning Entrepreneurs, and we're excited to be here. Kim, we better introduce ourselves. I'm Kerry Zarb, and I'm your financial designer from the land down under.
Good morning. I am Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team, and super excited to be here for this edition of the GME episode, Carrie.
Oh, me too, Kim. And we might be co-hosts in other places too, Kim.
Oh my goodness, Carrie, we could be here all day talking about where we co-host together. We co-host the Fierce Entrepreneur Summit. We co-host, I think it's 42,000 podcasts.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of things.
Yeah, we do.
Well, let's hop into entrepreneur land for today, Carrie. This is an exciting part for us. We think it's exciting. And we're going to talk about events and holidays to promote your business. Carrie, what do you say about that?
Events and holidays to promote your business. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to, personally, first thing that comes to mind, Kim, is a little bit of activity on social media in the lead up to holidays, but also lots of things you can do in the event space as well.
Well, we have a special event coming up next Friday after GME, and I'm super excited about that. We're going to be having our Fierce Entrepreneur Summit, and it's an event, Carrie. I know that this is a holiday week, but next week to us is kind of a holiday because we're so excited about the event.
Oh, Kim, I can't wait. It's been, what's it been, like a few months since we had the last summit, and I feel like so much has changed in that short period of time, and it's felt like a mini lifetime in itself. So it's going to be great to get back together and have the summit once again.
Oh my goodness. And we're changing it up this time. I just have to give that little hint of we are changing it for, it's just going to be different. We're going to have our red carpet as usual. We're going to have a panel style summit, and then we're going to have an after party actually on Clubhouse. So it's really exciting, Carrie.
It is, and it's been on the calendar for a little while, and we can't wait for that. So we hope you guys will be able to tune in and join us, because don't forget, not only you'll find us in all the places that you can find us right now. So LinkedIn, Facebook, the website, YouTube, don't forget YouTube. So we're broadcasting Fierce Entrepreneur Summit to all of those channels. So wherever you are finding us right now, you'll be able to find us there next week as well.
And that is exciting, Carrie. So let's talk just a second about how everyone who is listening can use an event or a holiday to help grow their business, and you really play on it, Carrie. I think sometimes we miss opportunities because, I don't know about you, Carrie, but I think about things after the fact sometimes. I'm like, oh, that would have been a great idea, and the time has passed. Do you ever do that, Carrie?
I do that in about every conversation, Kim. Oh, I should have said that. That's right. Oh, damn it. I'm never that quick.
Well, and we want to get everybody thinking about this. What holidays are coming up that you celebrate that you want to highlight with your business? Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a party? Do you want to have a little summit? Do you want to have a get together of some sort? Do you want to do some extra promotional things? We have so many things coming up in our community that I feel like we almost go from one party to another, Carrie. I feel like that's our life as being part of this community.
Well, and Kim, someone might be tuning in and going, gee, these guys like a party. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Because there's no fun in business without a party. So if there's ever a party happening and we're not there, well, it's because we didn't get an invite. So send us the invites and we'll be there because we're up for a party anytime.
That's right. And let us be very clear about what kind of party we're talking about. We are talking about the things that grow your business and lead to other people learning about your business. Use those holidays and those events to let other people know what you're up to in entrepreneur land. So I think that that's a really important part. Carrie, what our events and holidays are on, though?
No, you're going to have to clue me in.
Carrie, it's always on our calendars.
Ooh, yes. And speaking of things on our calendars, we are going to head over to our roving reporter, Jill Olish. Over to you, Jill.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Jill coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs with unique solutions for mama entrepreneurs. And today I wanted to ask the question, are you letting your calendar tell you what to do? And I ask this because just in Sticky Note Time Accountability Group this past weekend, it was presented as a statement and it made me really question how I look at my calendar and change my viewpoints, because we tend to let our calendar tell us what to do instead of seeing our calendar as something that we are telling it what we are doing for the day. And not everything is set in stone. The harder part, I think, is finding a calendar that works for you and staying dedicated to what you're putting on your calendar. I have a lot of trouble finding something that works for me, for both myself as a mom, as well as our family, and for me as an entrepreneur and running my business. You want to try and find something that does work for you, whether it be each thing individually. So like I have a home center with a calendar on my refrigerator that's different than the calendar on my desk for my business, but I have a calendar on my phone that kind of controls it all. And I have found that time blocking has been the biggest help with setting the stage for what I put on my calendar and where I Tetris it. Time blocking has helped me figure out where I have this open spot on my calendar to put the things that are necessities to do outside of my home and my business. Breaking down our bigger tasks or projects that seem impossible to put on our calendar is easier to manage when it's broken down into smaller bite-sized steps that actually fit in and around what you have planned for your day. I know one of my biggest struggles was figuring out when I was going to do my chores while I was still trying to figure out when was I going to work and when was I going to have eyes on my son while he was doing what he was doing at home with me. And I had to strategically plan to do things while he was napping that I could not do with him. So that was like working, and maybe some other household chores that just would have been impossible to do. So figuring out what part of your day is best to do those types of things is going to set the rest of your day up for better planning and staying more consistent with showing up for yourself as well as your appointments. I would highly recommend that you take a look at the different calendar options that are available. And if you don't find anything, see if you can make one yourself and stick with it for a little while to see if it does help improve your productivity for the day, or at least staying accountable to showing up for your appointments. And I know that doesn't work for everybody right away, but that is something that you can start working towards. And I challenge you to empower yourself with the right tools to get there too. Thanks so much, Kim and Carrie. Back to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jill. That was amazing. And Kim, did you hear some magic words in there from Jill? I did.
I did too, Carrie. Absolutely heard some things that I'm super proud. One of them is the Tetrising. We know that that is something that Carrie and I have been doing that forever, but until I met Carrie a few years ago, I didn't ever call it that. I never thought about it being called that. So to hear it coming out of Jill's experience as well, it just makes me proud, Carrie. Look at what an influence you've been on all of us.
Oh, and Kim, I have to say, I love that everybody is becoming familiar with Tetrising their calendars, because we do need to have that flexibility and give ourselves that ability to do that, because things change, days change, priorities change, and things have to shift and move. And I get far less stressed about Tetrising my calendar than the Tetris game itself. That game just stresses me out as soon as those blocks are filling up. Ooh. Yeah.
So maybe we should give a little tiny snippet, Carrie, of Tetrising to all of us is when you have something on your calendar that you know you need to fit in, and you have the ability, and I'm going to say that the ability inside of you to be okay with moving it, not being so rigid with your calendar that it causes you to get stressed out. So I think that is a beautiful thing, and I appreciate Jill sharing that this morning.
Me too, Kim. And with that, I think we need to go to a quick 1-minute word from our sponsors.
This show is sponsored by
Groundwork Brigade Mastermind. Are you an entrepreneur who is focused on making an impact,
but you haven't figured out how to make an income doing it?
We spent years trying to figure out how to do both.
And we realized the business adventure is not a one-size-fits-all. I'm Kim White. I'm the founder and fierce leader of the My Sexy Business team.
And I'm Kerry Zarb, Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
And she's a brilliant entrepreneur, by the way.
We both understand how it feels to believe we are the only ones who can't figure things out.
So we decided to join forces so we could get in the trenches with you.
We lead a very special mastermind group so you can be confident in strategically implementing
the right things in the right order so that you too can get the best possible results.
We cover a variety of topics based on what you need,
including building a business that you own and doesn't own you.
We even address themes like social media strategy and simple tech solutions.
If you would like to meet other entrepreneurs who are living proof of what is possible,
come and join us, and the link is below.
Thank you, Carrie. Carrie, I want to say this because I love us as a community and as a group. There is a little bit of shift in the agenda, and you know what? I want everybody to know it's okay. Nobody out there knows until we say something, and we're saying something to let everybody know this is how it works. We get a little messy with the order of things, and it's okay. But we want to say really quickly, the reason that the commercials are what they are is because we sponsor our own selves. We are literally sponsoring the different things with our podcast, with our segments, with all the things. So this segment that we're about to go into is actually sponsored by Simply Biz Beans. And I want everybody to know that's a podcast that you started, was it 3 years ago, Carrie?
Yes, coming up next month.
And Carrie generously, let me just say that, very generously included me because I kept showing up and she couldn't get rid of me. I kept showing up and asking questions, so she actually included me in the podcast. So, Carrie, I would love for us to go ahead. We're just going to do this messy, and I want to go to that commercial because I think that commercial is important to show you off because I'm so proud of all the things that you're going to talk about today in your segment. So if we could roll that commercial, that would be an awesome thing.
Do you struggle to understand your business finances? Are you sick of not being able to keep up with the beans in your business? Tune in to the Simply Biz Beans podcast for weekly coffee combos about business finances. This is where coffee meets money. Hosted by Kerry Zarb and Kim White in the virtual cafe, we invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew, because we understand your finances are as private as your underwear. This is why we share these personal conversations with you, so that you can get in control of your business finances. We chat about the real issues we've faced with our flippin' digits and discuss everything in a simple way to help you on your BizBeans journey. As Princess Kim would say, buckle up, and I'll say, come on, let's go, it's coffee time. Catch the Simply BizBeans podcast on your favourite podcast channel today.
Welcome back, everyone. And it's time now to say our financial designer, Carrie Zarb, who is a rock star podcaster. On top of all the other things she does, she is the founder and owner of Zinc Business Solutions. And she is, Carrie, you are leading this community in such a sexy way to help all of us learn to design our own finances. So Carrie, I want to move into your segment and say, let's go. It's coffee time. Can I say that this time?
You can, Kim. Always, always. I think it's incredible to have you on the show with me. Let me just say that first and foremost before we hop into today's topic. And I'm very grateful that you have volunteered to do that with me every single week, and we have a lot of fun, and we talk about the hard stuff, but it is a good conversation, and it is in the virtual cafe, so it's nice and relaxed, but we do tackle the tough things sometimes.
We do, Carrie, and you make it. I just want to make sure everybody sets the environment. You make it so easy to talk about those things and get answers because of the virtual cafe setting. It's not a calculator with the tape going out the back, all of that stuff that we get stressed about thinking being in the accounting office. It's you and I having coffee and talking finances and getting things done. So thank you, Carrie, for including me.
You're welcome. So, Kim, today we want to talk about, because it is a holiday weekend. Rewind. So over here, it's already started. So I'm at the end of my Friday. You guys are starting your Friday into this holiday weekend. And we want to talk about, does your income take a holiday when it's holiday time? So it's a little bit spicy there, Kim, but I think it's something that we need to discuss, because I'm sorry to say that I talk about the finances out loud because I want people to hear it. And I know that there's things that people aren't comfortable with, like the underwear in the top drawer, all the boxes and the receipts. It's all about that. But if we talk about it out loud, we can become more comfortable with it. So if you're going into the holiday season, sometimes we can make a little plan for this, Kim. Sometimes we can actually plan ahead and actually have a little stash of funds in our business so that we can take a break. Because a lot of entrepreneurs out there, well, and I'm guilty of this myself, you kind of ignore those holidays because we've got too much to do, or we've got income to be made, and we don't even think about giving ourselves a break when the opportunity arises. We might have client demands to meet. So how can we balance those demands and the income so we can take a holiday?
Well, and Carrie, I want to also ask you this question to make sure I'm understanding too, that you're also talking about planning, because as entrepreneurs, if we have a day off in a week that we're not doing customers or clients or making money, we can get ourselves into trouble because we didn't make a plan for the loss. And it's not really a loss, but for the difference in the income that may not be coming in on a holiday.
Correct, Kim. And what that comes down to a lot of the times is what our expenses look like, because the expenses probably don't change. The expenses don't go on holiday necessarily. So therefore, it's kind of that natural situation of, well, if the expenses don't go on holiday and then the income can't go on holiday, therefore I can't go on holiday. Well, hang on a second, why can't I take a break? So what's wrong in the mechanics of that, and what's the recipe kind of looking like that we need to have our kind of finger on the pulse with the numbers to make sure that we do see the opportunity to take a break, because I know firsthand, Kim, and I know you know as well, and a lot of entrepreneurs out there are in the same cycle of we get burnt out if we can't take a holiday because of those income expense pressures. Then we're just going to run dry and we're going to be exhausted. And that's not where I want anyone to be.
No. So, Carrie, can you give us one tip that we could do right now to not have that be such a hard thing?
Absolutely. So, for those that are working in their business and maybe you've had a better couple of weeks before or even the month before, think about putting that money away. So, if you can reserve some funds, so then you can take a break, so that that little shift in revenue, if you do have a few days out of the business, you're not worried about that. You've actually got that freedom. So by having those additional funds behind you, or likewise, depending on your business model and what industry you're in, you might know that you've got business coming through straight after it. So therefore, you can take a break and then put your red hot skates on straight after to make up that difference as well. So I don't want anyone to feel like there's not an option. There is. It does take a little bit of planning, but we can have that before and after effect to help us get through a little holiday break so that we can take some pressure off.
I love that, Carrie. Thank you. And I think everybody should get their calendar, since Jill talked about that, and find out the dates for the holidays and set that aside. Look, Carrie, it's all connecting the dots again.
It is. It's amazing how these things come together. Woo. So, Kim, I think we need to hop over to our next roving reporter, which is the amazing Denise Millay. So it's over to you, Denise.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Denise Millay coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm here to help entrepreneurs be found online. And this week we are talking about your podcasts. And we want to talk about that thing you spend all this time creating, and you give it so much thought and you build these beautiful products. And we know people are listening. We know there are listeners everywhere. They're in their homes, they're at work, they're in their cars, they're outdoors. They take the podcast with them wherever they are. So now we want to wonder, how is it that they're finding their podcasts? Do we know how they're finding them? Or are we just assuming that they're going to a podcast platform to find what they want to listen to, because it's such an integral part of their lives? Well, I'm here to tell you that a recent study found out that 30% of listeners use search engines to find new podcasts. Wow, right? Who would have thought a search engine is the place where that many people may be finding their episodes or their podcasts to listen to? I wonder if it's because the podcast platforms are difficult to find things on. But 30% of listeners, that is a huge portion of the listening population. So I think we need to listen to their listeners and try to make our podcasts findable on the place we can control, our website. So create a single page for each episode that you create in your podcast. Put it on your website so it'll get included in search. So these people scrolling on their phones looking for something new and interesting to listen to on whatever topics you're talking about can find you and find your product. Because in the end, what we really want for everyone is for you to be findable. Because if they can't find you, they can't do business with you. Back to you, Kim and Carrie. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Denise.
My goodness, that was a really good one that ties in so much today, Carrie. And even last week we talked about podcasts. So did you know that fact, Carrie? Did you know that 30% of people came from searching on like the web
I did
versus
not.
podcatchers?
No. And here's the funny thing, like if you had have asked me before seeing that, I would have said they're all coming from the podcatchers. So all the players that we have on our phones, the apps that we download, I would have thought That's where people look. So 30% is a big number.
It is a big number, Carrie. And I feel like, we have up-leveled our podcast by having those pages and by doing some of those things. So I think Denise is brilliant when it comes to all of that. I think she's done a great job of influencing us all. Let's just say that.
Absolutely. So, Kim, I think we have another commercial, just a quick 1 minute commercial, or is that what? Yep, tell me.
That's the one we've already played. So I want to take a 1 minute and just say this. I think this is something important that we believe in, and we believe in being living proof. We believe in being transparent, and we believe that messy is beautiful. So when we had the first commercial play this morning, we are sponsoring our own selves. We are doing this, and I'm not talking about Carrie and I by ourselves. I'm talking about our team, the producers, like all of the things that go into this is a group of us. It's not just Carrie and I. Carrie and I get to show up and be the host. That's what Carrie and I get to do. So when things get out of order or we could just pretend like that didn't happen and go on. But because we believe in being living proof for our community, we want you to know that if something goes differently than what it was planned, it doesn't mean it was a bad thing. So I don't think we can or we cannot, Carrie. You make the call. We can play the 1 minute sponsor spot again.
I think it's all good, Kim, and I think we should head over to our next roving reporter because we do have standing by Kat Corchado. So it's over to you, Kat.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is the freaking fabulous Kat Corchado coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Donna Bender. She is the leader of a circle known as Giveologist, and she helps other entrepreneurs on how to use gifts and branded products to build a meaningful, fun, and profitable business. Today, I want her to tell us her tips and tricks that she uses to maintain her health and wellness.
To be honest with you, and this is not a plug, signing up for your SS Pilates community and having you get our butts going has been a saving grace for me. And even though the last couple of weeks I haven't been able to join the class, the fact that you have videos and things like that has been extremely helpful. It's finding those times when we're sitting in front of our computer listening. Why aren't we walking and listening?
So how do you prioritize? What do you do to prioritize exercise with your busy schedule?
I have to make sure I get it done in the morning. But for instance, your classes that I participate in is at a lunchtime. That's convenient.
So Donna, for anyone listening out there, for other entrepreneurs, do you have any tips for them for staying motivated to exercise? I think it's recognizing when you've been in that fight or flight for so long and your body's reacting to that. You're getting headaches, you're tired all the time, you can't sleep. That's a big one. When you can't sleep, then you know that something's up. So just being able to recognize that you're there. You may not know or have all the tools to be able to apply to it, but at least you recognize it.
But to be honest, Kat, and this is, you didn't pay me to have this commercial, but I really do think that people should join your community, the SS Pilates. And because you have a great way of encouraging people to exercise. It's a fun time. So you can actually see what we're doing and say, no, Donna, you got to change your leg in a different direction. That is just such a critical thing to the whole class online, and that you can actually see us.
So how do you balance your self-care with the demands of running your business?
It's scheduling the time, just like everything else that we have to do in order to make a plan work. It has to be in our calendar. We can always say tomorrow will start, but if it's not in the calendar for tomorrow will come and we'll make up another excuse of why tomorrow's not starting.
I wholly believe that if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. So it's like anything else. Schedule your breaks, schedule your water intake. Oh, time to stand up. All that. We all have smartphones. Put a timer on. If you've been sitting for 4 hours, it's time to get up and move. Just get up and walk around. If you're on a phone call, you have headphones, you have earbuds, walk around your house, walk around wherever, and not sit there, because I think it makes you feel better and it helps your mind to think. So Donna, one last question. How do you ensure that you get enough rest and recovery time to support your fitness goals?
I used to work late at night, and I would find that I would be like this at the computer, and I would keep falling asleep, and I'd have to look at it again. So I changed that clock around and started getting up early. And I can get through something so quickly in the morning, where at night I was struggling. And so sometimes just sitting on the couch and binging on something is getting your body to recover.
Well, Donna, it's been such a pleasure talking to you about this. And so thank you very much for listening and watching. And back to you, Kim and Carrie.
Oh, thank you, Kat and Donna. That was amazing.
So I think we need to like slip in a little bit of a NAI behind the scenes thing, because Kat and Donna are in this particular, let me point the right direction. They're in this particular book that Holly Totten put together with them. And these two are powerhouses. If they can find a way to exercise, and I will tell you, I'm going to be really transparent, Carrie. Kat has kicked my booty on many occasions. She does it with a smile. She's super sweet. But let me just tell you, she has really made me stronger. You know, I went through some health issues, and she got me stronger, and I have more stamina because what she's taught me. So I do think that Donna's right. Joining Kat's community is a perfect option. I'm going to say that. But I wanted to show off that you can really read their behind the story kind of stuff in this. Let me say story behind the story, and you can look it up under their name as authors or Holly Totten. Holly's the one that led the group and led the charge to get their stories out there. But we also have two more coming up that are in the first part of Holly's book, and that is we have, you point better than I do, Carrie. So Yvonne and Donna Ewing. There's Donna Ewing, and there's Yvonne. Yvonne is actually interviewing Donna this morning, and we just wanted to be able to show off like the new author intensive things from Holly Totten too. So, and Holly has influenced the last two in the interview and the next two in the interview, Carrie.
Oh, she absolutely has, Kim. Yes. And oh my goodness, to hold this is just so amazing. And Kerry confesses she hasn't finished reading it because I am a very slow reader. But I'm over halfway, Kim. So that's actually, yeah, that's not bad for Kerry. So, but we do need to head over to the next roving reporter segment that has Donna Ewing with Yvonne Marchese. So over to you, Yvonne.
Thanks, Kim and Carrie. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter. And today I'm speaking with Donna Ewing, who has been a professor of biology at McLennan Community College for 18 years, where she has loved helping students prepare for medical careers. When Donna was 58, she noticed that her middle was expanding. Who can't relate to that? So she tried a nutrition program that turned everything around for her. And people started noticing. So they started asking questions. And when she started talking with people about the products and her experience with them, she discovered a new mission to help others achieve their health and wellness goals by selling the products that were so working for her. And now she's an entrepreneur. Donna, did you ever think of yourself as an entrepreneurial type when you were younger?
Actually, I had dabbled in, different little companies. The beginnings were there.
How long have you been in business doing what you're doing now? 5 years.
And the cool thing is I get to help them build their business, and just seeing them thriving and being able, as some mamas, being able to bring in some extra income to help their families is so rewarding because they make the money.
I mean, it's funny. I think a lot of the times when people think of the word entrepreneur, they start to think, oh, well, you have to be somebody who's making millions of dollars and all this. But it really can be like getting the roof replaced on your home, helping to get your kid through college.
You got to kind of build up to those kinds of consistent income, but $200 to $500 makes a huge difference in people's budget, especially these days. I mean, that could be a car payment, that could be a child's sports activities or their music lessons.
What is your favorite part of being a business owner and entrepreneur?
I kind of fell into it and then I fell in love with it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love helping others.
So it sounds like this entrepreneurial journey that you're on has really expanded your sense of what you can do to help other people.
I mean, the sky is the limit as far as the variety of different things that people can choose to do, and it's going to be different for everybody, but just helping one another and getting a little bit of compensation is just so rewarding.
I've so enjoyed meeting you in the new author intensive that Holly Totten leads. I don't even think I realized when we headed into this that we were going to end up contributing chapters to a book. Since having met you, I feel a kindred spirit with you as somebody coming to this feeling of empowerment later in life.
I just love the empowerment of us as individuals, but us as women. It's just exciting to be a part of.
Thank you so much, Donna, for being with me today.
It's been an honor to be here.
Back to you, Kim and Carrie.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Oh my goodness. I love those two, I have to say out loud, Carrie.
Me too.
I think there were a lot of friendships made during the book writing process in Holly's new author intensive. There were a lot of people who didn't know each other like Yvonne and Donna Ewing, and they now do, like, now they're friends. So I think that is maybe a side effect or a side benefit, we'll call it, of doing a project like writing a book together.
Well, Kim, it's amazing how people coming together does work so well, and meeting in online spaces and different places and communities that merge and form these friendships like you mentioned, Kim, because it's wonderful to see, but it's also giving us all that extra support that we need as entrepreneurs. And that's one of the reasons that we actually brought this show to life, was to bring that extra layer of support to people out there that are entrepreneurs and are feeling alone. So Yvonne and Donna, that right there are the living proof as well of how beautiful that can be, and how we can be connected even when we are solopreneurs.
And I think that that's a tip, Carrie, along this episode or this show today, is that you don't have to do it alone. Even if you're a solo entrepreneur, you don't have a team yet, you don't have all the things, you're just getting started, you still don't have to do it alone. Like, I think that that's an important part. If you don't have a tribe, find a tribe. If you don't have someone in your life to, like, brainstorm with, even, definitely do that. Because Carrie, you and I met, it's been like a few years ago now, but I can't even believe that comes out of our mouth. Like, it seems like it was yesterday, but it seems like it's been our whole lives at the same time. But we met online and started doing things together. And one of the things that came out of that we actually want to throw another little commercial in here that we sponsor our own selves, but it came out of that relationship of being open to the global, opportunities versus just in our neighborhood. I'm not in Australia. I know y'all think I speak like I'm Australian, but
And I'm very far from Texas, that's for sure. So, Kim, I think we should roll that 1-minute commercial and we'll be right back. Once upon a time, there was a princess from Oklahoma living a traveling life in Texas.
When along comes an Aussie bucket of swearing sunshine.
When these two girls from opposite ends of the globe met in February 2021,
even the universe did not know what it was in for.
Determined to solve world problems for entrepreneurs, we still to this day learn just how similar we are.
We have found our passions were too strong not to unite and become the partners in change that we are.
What is a bucket and a boom gate?
So a bucket is basically a category or a way to change how you're looking at something big.
And a boom gate is a way to protect ourselves. Sometimes we need a boom gate to protect ourselves from ourselves.
We have lots of experience of our lifetimes of business, and we want to share that with you.
We look forward to bringing you weekly episodes of the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast.
I love it, Carrie.
Me too. And Kim, I just want to talk really quickly to the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast because we had spoken about doing a podcast since we met because we both were podcasters and we knew we could do one together, but I don't know, the stars didn't align. I think you actually kept asking me, Kim, and I was like, yeah, we'll get there. But then you had your buckets, I had my boom gates, and yes, it just happened organically, which was fantastic.
It was a very sweet thing because Carrie and I enjoy spending time together. We were having conversations and people would hear parts of the conversation and say, "Oh, I wish I was a fly on the wall." And we giggle because we don't think we're that juicy and spicy. Like that's not, but then we got to thinking, well, maybe we are. Maybe we're just out there with what we talk about because we are pretty transparent.
Mm-hmm. A little bit raw and real sometimes, and yes, but it's clean. It's safe to listen to. Kerry doesn't swear. I might be the swearing bucket of sunshine, but I don't on the podcast.
Well, I want to move into something, Carrie, that we talked about on this week's episode of Buckets and Boom Gates. The episode that dropped this week is on my favorite all-time subject.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ever. Can I just say that? Ever. My favorite ever.
And Kim, I think there could be it's a multiple soapbox week here because not only did that podcast come out, but we do want you to speak about now one of your favorite words from Princess Speak.
And it is collaboration. Some people hear that and they're like, no, I tried that once and I'm out. Like, I think there's a lot of pushback for this word, Carrie, but we know the power of it.
Absolutely. So, Kim, tell us a little bit about collaboration. How did you fall in love with collaboration?
So this is to me, it's funny because I didn't realize it until I was full grown that when I was little, my nanny, my mama's mama, would do things at the church that we went to. And they would have like potluck dinners. They would have things that they did. All of the women would get together and they would all make something and bring it to the dinner. Everybody enjoyed the dinner, but each one of them brought whatever their specialty was. So whatever their thing that everybody said, oh, are you bringing that to this? I really believe that's where it was born in me. I think watching them come together, they would have a good time cooking together. But they all were doing something individually, coming together to do something collectively, and it benefited everyone. It benefited them and everyone that came. So I really think that's probably the very best picture of or example I had growing up of what a collaboration can look like. But if you fast forward to adulthood and being an entrepreneur, I also have been there when I was the one cooking all the dinner. Everyone was eating it, and I was in the corner with my tongue hanging out because I was exhausted. So I think whenever I got grown, I also realized that not everybody understood how to do a collaboration. Some people say, sure, I'll collaborate. They want to show up and take the credit, but they didn't do the work to get there. So I do understand if you're listening and you're like, oh, that's not for me. I do understand that pushback, but I think you've probably participated in some low level collaborations instead of like gold medal standard. Like, that I think of the Olympics. And I think that collaboration can literally be Olympics worthy if you do it properly. So that is my word of the week, Carrie. That's my love, my obsession, my all the things. And I love that our episode talks, more in depth about it. And thank you for always letting me talk about collaboration, because I feel like that is the trifecta. When you do a high level collaboration, it's a win, win, win. It's not 2 wins, it's 3 wins. So I'll crawl back down.
You're fine, Kim, and thank you for sharing that with us because it is really, I think, important. But I just want to reiterate again, maybe you've done something like a collaboration in the past that maybe has not quite gone to plan. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on having collaborations. Just tune into the episode and get some really good ideas about how to do one maybe a little bit differently.
Oh, Carrie, can I talk about one we've done?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, please.
Oh my goodness. Because we've done multiples, of course, but one of the ones we have done that I think turned into something such a huge deal is that you made a tool for your own self for subscriptions that were catching you off guard. And you shared that you had made that, and I wanted it. And so you shared it with me, and then somebody else heard about it because we were excited, and somebody else wanted it, and it turned into a whole thing, Carrie, where it has now saved. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary, Carrie, of this collaborative tool. Let me be very clear about this. Carrie needed it. Carrie made the tool. I needed it. Carrie gave me the tool. That was my part. I used it. So, Carrie, can you give us a total for what this one tool has saved our community? And then I have one more thing I want to ask you.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting for a special message from a very special community member to give me an official number, but I know we are over $60,000 saved in less than a year. So $60,000 is a lot of money, and there's many contributors to that. So there's multiple people that have saved multiple amounts of money and added to that total. So it's pretty exciting, Kim.
That is pretty exciting. And I do believe, Carrie, that was born from the collaboration of you made it, I needed it, you shared it, we started talking about it. Like it just turned into something so beautiful. So, Carrie, if you don't mind, I would love to go to a commercial about it. It's a 1-minute thing, but I would love for everybody to know about it, because guess what? The price is free. That's important to know. So let's go to that commercial, Carrie.
Okay. Have you ever woken in the morning, opened your bank account and found you are overdrawn? Do you feel you have too much money going out of your business to unknown places? It's time to be in the driver's seat of your finances. Using simple subscriptions is the first step. Available on Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel using a simple 4-step process. Grab your bank statements, list all of your recurring payments, then start taking action to cancel the charges you don't need to be paying. Let simple subscriptions show you how much you can save and help you track the progress. The community has saved over $60,000 so far, and you can join the tally by grabbing your free and private copy today from kerrysarb.com/simple subs.
I love it, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. And I thank you for sharing it with like the community. I know we're like we're gonna surprise everybody, but let me throw this date out there so everybody can save the date. May the 10th, 6 p.m. Central. You are going to be doing a live demo of simple subscriptions, and it's free. Like, we want to stress that this is something you created to help everyone in our community, and you are generously offering to walk everybody through it. May the 10th, 6 p.m. Central Time. So I want to say that before we get to the ears.
Correct. And the ears just need to hold for a second, because let me add, Kim, that not only, well, the main reason we're walking through it is because not everyone loves spreadsheets. I'm very aware of this. Like, I play with them on the daily, but they're not everybody's cup of tea or cup of coffee. So therefore, we are going to get together and go through it live. So encourage anyone to come along to that, and certainly it's going to be fun as well.
Always fun. And the ears are proof. Carrie is always fun. This was something we all decided to do, but let us bring up, because we believe in being very grateful, let us bring up the crew that helps us with this, that puts this on. Carrie and I are very blessed to have an amazing team, and the producers of Good Morning Entrepreneurs. So let us bring up Adam Rothenberg and Jill Olish, and she has her sidekick with her. I need to make sure. Should I like push this up a little just so you can see the ears? I don't know. I feel like we're all like having to scrunch down. Good morning, Jill and Adam. And little D.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we are silly, that's for sure. That is who we are. But I will say that we are about serious results. But as Carrie, this is Carrie's quote, it's serious results wrapped in fun. So we are silly, but we were talking about holidays. This is a holiday week. So we all decided to be extra silly and show up with, our ears in the final thoughts part of this show today. So Carrie, where are we going with the ears?
Into Easter. Let's go into Easter with our bunny ears.
That's so funny. So, Adam, do you have anything you want to comment on from this show today? Like any of the things we've been doing? I'm sure you do.
I may have one or two comments on. One is that I appreciate that you love that messy is beautiful. And I really appreciated Dave in the comments, who also said that he loved the messy. And that was very, very kind to see, because things do happen. I was busy looking in the comments, and then it was like time for the commercial, and I was like rushing to get back to play the commercial. And then I was like, oh my God, which commercial are we playing? And it's right there in front of me in my notes. But of course I was like frantic going between the chat and the playing of the commercial, that I just hit the wrong one. And but it's very heartening that it's so embraced. And I'm representing both holidays this weekend, Easter, and it is Passover. So I have matzah with me for Passover.
And what did you make for the first time, Adam? What did you?
Oh, for the first time this year, I made the matzo balls for the soup that we put in the soup for the Passover Seder. And they turned out very good.
I love that, Adam. I love it. I'm kind of a little sad because I didn't get a delivery. That part was a little sad. I didn't get any of it, but I'm intentional on getting some next time.
There is next year, and I'm gonna make more next year. What we learned was we need to triple the recipe, because the second night we were going to be a little bit short, but it did all work out. So next year we're going to triple the recipe, so I will be able to I don't know how I'll get it to you because they'll like defrost by the time they get there, and I don't want you to to have any problems with that. So we'll have to work out some kind of delivery service.
We'll have to work it out.
Yes.
So Jill, do you have any commentary from today's show?
Well, I loved Adam's scenery change in the last 2 seconds. Usually it's a costume change. This time, scenery change. I love it. His ears weren't coming through all the ways. I loved, the collaboration conversation this morning because it's been happening all week. I know. The collaboration is strong in our community this week, and yes, I love that it came through everybody here today in the conversation and is just floating around right now because it is powerful, like you said, and I don't want to be in it sometimes, but okay. It's going to be good and lots of fun. So I am excited that we're talking about it on air right now, as well as it's happening around us. So that's what I have to say.
Love it, Jill. And I want to say this about Jill. Like, I know that there are a lot of mamas out there who, maybe they don't have the same situation where they can have their littles, as I call them, their littles with them when they're working or doing something. But I want to encourage everybody to know there are opportunities out there, because some people are uptight and we would not be coming from our kitchen or our office or like all the different places. We wouldn't have littles running around, or we wouldn't have ears on, quite frankly. But I feel like this is part of the culture of what we believe in. We believe you can have fun, we can live our lives and not have to hide the realness of everything. And I think that's an important thing.
It promotes a lot of freedom for moms and anybody else that's taking care of littles.
Absolutely.
And Kim, I'm going to say out loud that I've been wanting to wear my ears all week, and I waited. I was very good. I held back. They've been sitting in the background here. No one's seen them. So I was well behaved, Kim.
So true story. Carrie started wearing her ears last week after we got off air and was disappointed she couldn't just wear them all week long, all through the show. But we decided it was probably better if we saved the funnest, let me use horrible grammar here, the funnest part of us for the end, because some people might need to like slide in a little slower to know how we roll.
And Kerry sometimes forgets that it's evening over here, but it's probably a little bit early in the morning for you guys. So it could have been too much first up at 7 a.m. So
we're still working on coffee. But oh my goodness, I am so excited about this show today because I feel like we crossed over to some like bigger up-leveled things, even in all of the messy and the transparent and all the things. I feel like you guys did such a good job, and I am so proud of you all. You all make me proud every week, but every time we do this, I feel like we up-level again. So to anyone who's watching, any comments that you make, please direct them to Adam and Jill about what a great job they're doing, because Carrie and I love these two and we're so proud of them. And we're excited that we get to show up and do something that we've been dreaming about a long time, and they're making it happen for us. So we're very grateful. Go ahead, Adam.
Can I just say one thing? There is one more up-level surprise coming that you don't know about. So you're going to see it in just a few minutes.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see it, Adam.
Do we need to press the button, Adam?
I was going to say, do we need to go to, we'll see everybody next Friday, 7 a.m. Central?
We will. And this is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.